Good evening out there. It's Mike Melton back with In the Spotlight Live podcast tonight. In the Spotlight Live podcast tonight, episode 26, with a very, very, very special guest tonight. My guy out of Cleveland, Ohio, Sonny Johnson, man. The legendary Sonny Johnson, man. Sonny, thanks for coming on, brother.
Man, I love you, baby. I appreciate you having me. Appreciate
Uh,
you
oh,
having me.
oh yeah, man. This was a long time coming, brother, man. I'm glad that you took the time out. I know you be busy. You be having all types of basketball stuff going on, family stuff going on, man. Thanks for taking the time tonight to come on and so we could hear your story, man, and make sure you get your flowers, man, because you put a lot of work out there in Ohio, man, with your coaching, raising your sons, your kids, your family, and doing the Neo camp that has blown up and went to another level, man. And I just want to tell you from the rip, I always thank people from when they first come on. Thank you for inviting me out on several occasions, man, and getting a chance to cover the players out in the Midwest. And it was definitely a treat to come out there and check out some hoops, man. And you had big time hospitality. I remember the hospitality room. It was great, man. I had some fun. And you was a joy. You always make me laugh. Yeah. You had a good spirit, man. And thanks for coming out, brother. Thanks for coming on tonight, man.
I appreciate you having me, my guy.
Indeed, man. So let's get at it, man. How was it growing up as a youngster in Cleveland, man?
Well, I'm from the toughest part of Cleveland. I'm from 80th and Cedar. So we was growing up. I really didn't know. I think that didn't know we were poor, to be honestly, because my parents are both pastors. So we had a lot of love. So I didn't know nothing about where we were at, just our environment. I didn't know anything. I knew it was a lot of gangs around. I knew it was a lot of fighting here and there. But, I knew we lived in a community with a few gangs and things like that. But, they pretty much, parents pretty much shielded us with church and things like that. We were known as the church kids, definitely in the hood.
Okay. So when did you first pick up the rock with hoops, and how was it on the basketball scene as a youngster?
I was in my backyard, man. We had a hoop up in my backyard, and we used to play back there every day. And a guy, we had a recreation center right in the hood called Fairfax, and there was a guy that was walking past named George. And I was always a backyard player, but I never really went and played structured or played anywhere. And he just walked by, came in our backyard, started hooping with us, and then invited me to play with him at Fairfax. And then after that, I just started hooping.
When did you notice that you had something special in your game?
I just knew I was a dog, a competitor, So, I just like to compete. And, I really didn't know I was like that till maybe seventh grade. I start seventh grade, they started giving me the ball and I was just the leading scorer, and I was the guy producing at a high level. Like I didn't know, just playing ball, I guess just in seventh grade, I knew I was decent, I guess.
So then you decide to take your talents to Garfield Heights.
Well, no, I went to Central Catholic.
Oh, you went there first, okay.
I went to 2 years of Central Catholic, and I was struggling a little bit, coming from a Cleveland public school and going to a Catholic school, that ain't for everybody. And that definitely from where I was from, that was a big adjustment going there. So then after doing 2 years there, my story it could be a movie, because at the end of the day, they had me set up at the Catholic school to go to like a work program, like to not even go to qualify for college, because I was averaging like 15 points a game as a freshman. I averaged like 20 as a sophomore there, but the classes I was taking was not classes that counted for the NCAA clearinghouse.
Wow.
So I was basically going there, and they was going to set me up to, go through a work program, because academically I just couldn't, if I don't know if I tested low, it probably did, but the classes I was taking before just wouldn't qualify for the class I was taking, wasn't going to qualify for the clearinghouse. And they told my father that, and then my father just pulled me out and put me in Garfield Heights. I did 4 years worth of schoolwork in 2 years. I didn't take a lunch. In 2 years, I didn't take a lunch.
So while you was at
Because
Garfield Heights, you had to make up for the 2 years that they had you in taking those other classes at the Catholic.
Yeah, classes that didn't count. You can call them whatever classes you want. There was classes that definitely didn't count for the clearinghouse, and it was just classes not that. I'm not saying they were trying to get me by. They just probably because I tested low put me in lower classes, but then none of the classes I was taking my 9th or 10th grade year counted. So my father decided to pull me out, put me in Garfield Heights. I had didn't have a lunch for 2 years, and I did 4 years worth of high school work in 2 years. And,
wow.
That's why crew like I was basketball and all that. Okay, basketball going to Cleveland State. That's because nobody really thought during the time because I had a ton of high major offers. They didn't think I was going to qualify.
So let's talk about some of the accomplishments once you got to Garfield, man. You was off the charts, man. Mr. Basketball 1998 broke 12 school records. First team All Ohio. Bro, senior year, you averaged 34 and 18 boards. That's crazy, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna get. They probably pumped them boards up too much. That's a lot of boards. Man.
When I saw it, I said, "Yo, this dude must be an animal."
I give myself about 14 boards, man. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That's a lot of boards. But I give myself 34 and 14.
34, 14. That's what you give yourself?
Myself that for sure. But yeah. I mean, it was a heck of a time, a heck of a year for sure.
So you out there, like, how do it really feel? Did you know you was the best player in the state?
I remember what happened was it was another elite player named Steve Logan.
I remember
he was
Steve
at a
Logan.
powerhouse. You remember Steve Logan?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was talking to him his junior year, and I'm like, we just chit-chatting. I'm like, yeah, we had a game. I'm like, I'm gonna be player of the year this year, boy. He was like, go ahead, be player of the year. I don't care. I'm gonna win Mr. Basketball. And I'm like, Mr. Basketball? I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what? And then like they announced it was somebody else won because I didn't know what the award was. So I'm a junior. We just talking. He's like, go ahead, you can win player of the year. I'm gonna get Mr. Basketball. And then my I didn't get player of the year, but my senior year I won Mr. Basketball. And that's how it went down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just put up, I think my last couple of games, I think I went for 49, 50, 51, and 36 and something else my last 4 or 5 games of my high school career. So I put up, I was best to put up some good numbers.
How did you handle the attention that came along with all of the achievements?
I handle it. It means nothing to me because I know everything I have is from God. That's the foundation. The day I start thinking it's about me is the day I fail. So I never in my life growing up, my parents always taught us to be humble and hungry. So regardless of accolades I was receiving, I can know it all can be taken away if you start thinking it's about you instead of thinking about what God has for you and never forgetting and God blessed me with a gift to go out and play and then use my platform to do whatever I can spiritually to lead people to Him. So it was never about me, and it was always about God.
Yeah, you was definitely getting busy. I was looking at some of the stuff, man, and I dug this joint in that we're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna take a look at this joint, man, because you had things buzzing. You had it buzzing out there, bro.
What you get?
Come on, man. This is what I do, man. This is what we do around these parts,
man.
This is what we do, man. This is what we do, man. I gotta keep it on the what's the name, man. Gotta have some fun with this thing, man.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
The high school basketball player in Ohio. High school is over.
The guys here are very strong. They're lifting weights, and they bang your body. Your body take a lot of beatings, but
he still spends his summer nights inside a gym, getting knocked around by guys older and stronger. He never lived up to the expectations. Sonny Johnson says he's ready.
And to go to the hole or something like that. I'm just a hard player. I like to work hard. I go strong. The hole, no fancy dribbling. Just play hard.
That's the message.
Got my ears poking out.
Brought with him to Norwalk today. He says he's glad he gets the opportunity to speak to young people.
I really enjoy that. I mean, when I was once little, so I used to have Earl Boykins and a couple of other guys come and talk to me, so that was very nice.
To be a strawberry letter number 12.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That was this joint went off. Hopefully he come right back on. That joint was popping right there, man. That's this what it's all about. Giving the Joke brothers they flowers, man, doing this thing, man. So just go out and come back in, brother. Anyone a thing.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, it went off. Go out and come back in. Yeah, man, we get the brother back on, man. All right now. Hold up, brother. All right, we back.
Good.
Yeah, we back, man.
Hey, you know what happened when you start talking about God? The devil always try to. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, when you start bringing up God, the devil try to move, but we good.
I know. He always try to do that.
Favor, you get back going, baby.
He always do that. Now, what happened once you went to? How did you end up picking Cleveland State?
They just stuck with me with my academics the whole time.
Mm.
And then I didn't really know nothing about college because it was two guys that was in Cleveland that I was like really close with that were like big time hoopers named Jamal Harris and Theo Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
The year before they committed to Cleveland State, and I didn't know the levels of the colleges. I know Ohio State was bigger, but I really didn't know the levels. So I'm thinking like we're gonna win a national championship because I looked at them dudes like they was straight ballers. But you know, I really just didn't know. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I stuck with them.
What was the adjustments that you had to make once you got there, man? That was different from the level and the academics and stuff that you were used to.
When I got to where? Cleveland State?
Cleveland State, yeah.
Oh, just working. I mean, I understand what college is about, putting in extra work, being not like I told my brothers, not being somebody that the college coach have to babysit academically. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt when you first get there. They're gonna be like, okay, your class started at 8:00. Now you gotta be there at 7:55 and be there on time. Now, if you're being childish and immature and getting there late, then they start babysitting you. Then they start, you know what I'm saying? It was maturity stuff that I had to learn, the business of just being mature, understand what college was all about. I mean, because this is a grown man's game. And you got to think, you're dealing with coaches who really don't care about you like that. They only got 4 to 5 years. And if they're not doing their job, they're getting fired. So they ain't got time to be playing around with you.
So what happens when When you there, what were some of the most memorable moments you had at Cleveland State?
Man, you know, the team camaraderie, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Just hanging out with the guys, getting back, putting up extra shots, going to little clubs with them, hanging, you know, just, you know, it's so much. I mean, even reading the Bible with them, you know, going to I used to go to, I mean, one time I went there crying to each one of my teammates' room talking about God is coming. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you had your moments when God just hit you and you lose it a little bit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I did so much, man. But really just the enjoyment of being on your own.
What were some of the best games you remember having there?
I mean, I remember I had North Carolina. I had like 19 on ESPN against North Carolina. St. Bonaventure, I had like 20 in the first half or something like that. Wisconsin, like 17. You know, I mean, I had big games against the biggest. I mean, Kentucky, I had 21 to 24 against Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I had big games against some of the top teams in the country. So, I mean, I had a lot of great moments.
Then you took your talents over to Ohio University.
Well,
man.
yeah, that's why I had most of those games. North Carolina, Kentucky.
I saw some of the clips. How did
they was there.
How did you end up going to Ohio University, man?
Well, what I was really doing, I was leaving. I wanted to play with my brother again, so I was going to go to Miami of Ohio. When I put my name in the portal, man, all these schools started coming at me, and they was telling me I'm gonna play the point. I'm gonna do this, and I mean, I'm just like, shoot. I mean, this sounds way better to go to play with my brother. You know what I'm saying? They about to put this ball in my hand like this. I mean, then Ohio University, I just had 28 points against them. So I knew they knew my the way I played. So I mean, then the guy Larry Hunter, the way they was playing the guy that was leaving and being able to put me right in his spot. I mean, I couldn't, you know, I went there. That's the tricky part about the business. I transferred to go play for Larry Hunter. As soon as I transferred down there to play for him, he got fired. So then I'm stuck. I'm stuck because you couldn't move how you move now. That was my only move. So now I got to go down there and play for somebody I definitely ain't even know or, you know, was there to play for.
That's definitely the problem with how the game is. The coaches had all the flexibility, man.
No question. No question at all.
The coaches had all the flexibility, man. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at some of those. We about to take a look at some of those clips, man. From your balling down in Ohio, man. Ohio.
Hey, listen, you about to make me feel good. You about to make me have to come back on the podcast again. Hey, you about to make me listen. You got me feel with my kids. I need to bring my kids in here. I'm so hot right now.
No, we're just having a little bit of fun, brother. That's all. Just giving you your flowers while you here, man. That's all, man.
Well, you good at this. God dang.
Johnson flashes to the basket. There he is. That's what Sonny needs. A couple easy buckets on the press. Turnovers favoring the Ohio Bobcats, and there's another. Johnson by himself. Working hard. And
check you out, bro.
Sonny Johnson goes line. Tim O'Shea has been substituting for
Susan playing anymore. You see them
He's getting out of bucket.
We had guys running across the front of our table. We'll see Ohio working a little bit more towards.
Okay, I see the footwork.
Sonny Johnson can always be counted upon to wipe his marks. One more dribble. He's at point blank range, and he just pulled up a little bit too soon. There's Sonny Johnson.
I see the footwork.
Different in
against Wisconsin.
A lot of coaches don't like the small guard for that reason. Sonny Johnson felt it and converts. He doesn't need much room. He just put it back. Sonny Johnson's checked into the lineup. He's got the basketball. Looking for the baseline shot. I'll tell you, it wasn't really Johnson. Hey, he's going.
Don't stop it. I'm hot. I'm hot, Mike. Don't stop it. I'm hot.
You was hot. You was getting a bucket. You was getting at him.
Yeah, I was getting at it back in the day.
Oh,
baby.
man, that's a joy, man. It's good to be able to have this kind of stuff. It took me a couple weeks to get to really know how to maneuver. I still got to get a little better at. I'm gonna get 2 screens so then I can work one while the other one, and it's gonna look more official. You know what I'm saying? I'm still young at this game. I'm still young at this game, man. So how would you sum up your college careers, man?
Well, my college career, I really thought I had a successful one. I think my junior year I finished up with 15 a game, and then my last year I got into like a car accident. I missed like the last 9. I think I finished up with like 14 a game, but got in a car accident coming home, got hit, and missed like the last 9 or some games, maybe 6 or some 9 games. So I didn't really get to finish the way I wanted as far as my career at all. And then, and it really stopped me from really going overseas and making the money that I thought I was really supposed to make after my college career was over.
But the Most High had something else planned for you, brother, and it was this: to return to Garfield Heights and coach basketball. How did all of this come about, brother?
You know what? I ain't had nothing to do, man. I couldn't go overseas. I had to have another knee surgery for my knee. And it was me and my wife here staying with my parents at the time. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do. And then, we were probably going to go overseas after a year. But then she got pregnant again. And then I just started going up there volunteer coaching, working with the kids. And then I don't know what it was. I just started coaching, man. And then I just always told God, though, regardless if I was coaching, I just didn't want to be a regular coach. I want to be in a program where I'm impacting lives. I want to impact lives with things I want to do for kids. I wanted to, just not, some people coach for a check. They ain't got no shot to win no playoff game, no state tournament. And I ain't want to, if I prayed to God, if I was going to do it, bless me to be somebody and make an impact in people's lives. And that's what he did.
Indeed. How did you, because something that I like to deal with, I like to talk about on this platform, man, is when we have expectations and goals and then they don't get reached. How did you deal with the not being able to reach the professional goal? Like, how did you deal with the mental health of that? Like, when you really realized, like, it was over and then I'm going to have to coach. Like, how did you deal with coming back home and people asking you, like, what happened with basketball? Like, how did you handle that? Because a lot of people have a tough time making that adjustment back.
Yeah, I don't think I really had a tough time because of I had kids involved.
Okay.
And then, like, my responsibility became from not about me, as far as basketball and playing overseas and making money of what I want to do. It became I have to provide. You get what I'm saying? And like I would wonder how it would be. I wonder how it would be if I wonder how it would be if I just came home and didn't have a wife and kids. I would probably, I think it would have probably turned out different. But the responsibility of being a provider and taking care of my wife and kids made it shift to I need to make money for them. I need to worry about them. I need to see how I can provide for them instead of me. And that's what my father and mother has always done. Always put each other first. So I knocked my career on hold. I just shifted my goals of what needed to be done. And that was taking care of my kids and my wife.
Indeed. Now get back to, what was your first plan of action when you took over the varsity job at Garfield Heights?
I mean, they had won. They was like 0-20, 1-19. 2-18. So I mean, they had like 5, 6. It was a laughing stock for years. Our program. So when I got it, I was blessed to get a couple of transfers. Back in the day, I got a couple of transfers, and we had some pretty good pieces there. And I think it was a coach. Coach that got fired at another school and just telling the kids, hey, you need to go play for him. I was happy too. Like, shoot, yeah. He was so mad he'd get rid of everybody all his players. He had like 5 Division I guys. So, but I was blessed to for that situation to happen.
When did you realize that you might have something good going here?
I realized I had some good going, or was going to have something good and had some good when I started putting these kids in college. And that's the only reason. It wasn't about the wins and losses. The wins and losses, they're going to always come when the kids know you're putting them first. You know what I'm saying? So when you put the kids first, like I've tested I've been coaching 19 years, had one losing season. And that's when we was injured. You know, we had like 4 guys out, but at the end of the day, I mean, that wasn't, I mean, we still won because all 4 of those seniors went to school for free. So, I mean, I put it like we never had a real losing season. But I, you know, I always knew my goal was to, you know, put the kids in school. So I was always ready to do that.
How did you feel the first time you got that call that one of your kids went to college for free? The first time?
Oh man, you know, that's when I was sitting in my office just making tapes, sending them out.
Real grind back then.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was, man, listen.
Real grind back then.
I didn't know what I was doing, bro, but I was just making tapes. And then it became my calling. I didn't know what I was doing, but I know I wanted to see people change their lives because, you know, kid getting a degree, you know, that's 4 years of growing up in maturity and then coming back and, breaking a cycle, whatever. You know, a lot of these kids I coach too, parents and stuff didn't go to school and get college degrees.
All facts.
Yeah, so they started a new trend in their own families' lives. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just impacting lives like that for real.
What were some of the obstacles coaching at your alma mater?
The problems I had?
Yeah.
First of all, probably being the first Black coach at the school. Probably when I was there coaching, it's like 95% Black now, but it was probably 5%, 10% Black when I first started coaching 19 years ago. So, you know, you gotta, you know, then you're in the program where you're getting a lot of transfers because you didn't have a lot of Black coaches in a great environment in the Cleveland area. So I was in a considered suburb school. So, you know, and most of the coaches were not in those suburb schools. I had was not in, you know, with the lower level schools or not schools that was considered like suburban schools. Had a lot of Black coaches. So I was blessed to coach at a school that was considered pretty not uppity up, but right in between that tier. And just having a lot of haters, bro. Like, I mean, I went through it one time. I had a game, man, and I'll never forget it. It was, you know, we was getting transfers like crazy, and I wasn't gonna stop them. They come, because you know what I'm saying, you never know what God plans for you to help somebody. So hey, as long as they do the right stuff, live where they're supposed to live, do what they're supposed to do, we good to go. But you know, to plan a certain conference and everything was I mean, one time we had a big game, man. We excited after the game. So the game was over, it goes, Sonny Johnson is alleged for recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Just it broke me because I was like the only, honestly, Black coach in the conference with 10 coaches.
Wow.
You go, and you know what I'm saying? So one of the coaches, and I'll never forget this, he called the state to investigate me and then called the plain dealer to tell him I was being investigated.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So I was dealing with so much.
Wow.
I dealt with so much, man. And shoot, I mean, it was I dealt with a lot. I mean, when I first started coaching, but you know what I'm saying? But that didn't stop me. That didn't stop me because, you know, people that was hating on me or doing that stuff, they end up having to come back and ask me to help their kids. You know, make phone calls for them to go to school, and I never denied them. I never stopped it because at the end of the day, that's my calling. That's what God placed me on this earth to do. And then you can never be mad at your haters. You know what I'm saying? You can never be mad at your haters. You know what I'm saying? It just make you go stronger.
Indeed. Coaching milestones, bro. You got over 300 wins. You have what's your total right now?
I think I'm like 350.
350 wins. You done went to 4 Final Fours. What's the atmosphere like going to the Final Four? Like, take me there. Like, what is all of that? What? Because I'm in New Jersey. Ours is kind of different. Like, how many do y'all play by different levels? Like, Class A, Class B?
Yeah. We go as Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and Division 4. That's how we do it, all those divisions. So we was always in the top tier one, Division 1. That's what we always played in.
Do it go by school size or talent?
Man, right now, man, we just switched it this year to school size.
Okay.
I mean, it was always lopsided for years, man. We can be in a school with like 300 boys playing against a school that has 500 to 600 boys.
Okay.
So, like, it was always weird how it went because they was going over. I think they went over the kids that was in your school, but it was still always different. But they just fixed it this year. We're gonna have like 7 divisions. So we're gonna play against the kids that's right. The kids the schools that have the same amount of kids we have.
Okay, yeah, that's how we doing in New Jersey. Now, do the parochials, the Catholics, they play against y'all or they got their own bracket?
They play against us.
No, we in Jersey, they got their own bracket in the state tournament.
Do they?
Yeah. So we got 2 parochial brackets and 4 public school brackets.
Really?
Yeah, it's always been like that. They never played each other in the state tournament. But before we used to have a tournament of champions. So from each division that win, they used to have another tournament where all of them play each other to get one champion. But they stopped doing it because the public schools was complaining that the Catholic schools kept winning all the time because they had the most talent.
Yeah. I mean, you can't like right now, the toughest teams we're gonna have to face this year. I mean, we got LeBron School, St. V, we got to get by. We got Akron Hoban, who's a Catholic school, and we got Lutheran West. And
how you feel having to play against them? Do you feel that the recruiting advantage goes to them? Like, how do you feel playing?
I mean, when you're at a Catholic school, you get to pick who you want. You can't beat that. You can't even replace being to get who you want at any time. If you don't like a kid, you can go find another kid out there easily, and he can come to your school and play. With us, we have to, luckily kids want to come and play for me. But, then you got to grow on what you have. Whatever you get, you got to put everything into what you got when you're at a public school. You know what I'm saying? So once I get that kid, no matter if he was in my system all the way through or if he transferred in, I have to put everything in because I can't just really look at you and be like, oh, man, I don't like you here. Let me go to an event, and it's easy for you to just come over here and transfer over here and play. That's not – we're not Catholic school, so we can't get the benefit. I mean, if I was at a Catholic school, all these schools – no offense, in Ohio and Cleveland, it'd be over.
How do they justify playing against y'all in state tournaments?
They don't. I mean, we play against them. That's how it goes.
Wow. Okay. How did you feel winning your 300 game? Did you ever think coming into this that you'll ever be getting that ball that you won your 300 games?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. At all.
How did it feel at that moment, bro?
It felt good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it felt good because all the players who played for me. I had a lot of great players that, that tribute to everything, man. I'm not.
What are some of your top players in the schools they went to? Some of the players that came through. Trey
Lewis, who ended up going to Louisville. You had Carl Jones, who down there in St. Joe's. Carl Tate Jones, at Rob Wilson at Wisconsin. Michi, my nephew at Ohio State.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to him.
Shoot, man, I had so many great players, man. Alonzo Gaffney, who went to
I remember him when I came out there. He was out there.
Yeah.
I remember him.
I had a lot of Frankie Hughes, who ended up at Missouri, and Willie Jackson at Missouri. Marion Jackson, who went to Arizona State, was at Toledo Player of the Year. So I had a ton, man. I was blessed.
You guys always seem to make things into a family affair. One of the things you had was your brother as your assistant coach and JV coach. How did that come into play? How did Michi come and coach with you, man?
Forget him. Ain't nobody talking about him no more. No, man, my brother, it's always good to have somebody with you that don't agree with everything you say, and that's gonna always keep it real with you. That's very rare to have, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, my coach who coached me in high school was with me. My cousin was the friend. I always keep people around me because it's a dirty business. I always try to keep family around me. Some people that can keep it real with me, and that's how you win. You got somebody that can tell you the real. You can always have a lot of success.
Yeah. Now after that, your brother stepped off and he got his coaching opportunity, man. How did he break the news to you when he was going to Warrensville? And how did that conversation go when it was time for him to go?
Shoot, I mentioned to him like it was time. I thought it was time. You know, I hate to lose him because he's such a great basketball mind, but I mean, he went there, you know what I'm saying? He was alumni there, and he brought pride to them real fast. So he brought a lot of pride right to Warrensville because, you know, he's a minister, man. God's favors on him. So, you know, I was just happy to see him do his thing and have the success he's having.
Then it came down till it was time to go head to head. Tell me about what was the talk lead up to it. How like what did y'all tell your team? How did the family give me the whole breakdown? How did the family take this when they knew it was gonna be a showdown? Just take me through it, bro.
No, it was exciting. You know, a lot of junk talking. He thought he was gonna beat me, and I mean, honestly, I'm sitting there, man. We played them, and I knew they wasn't nowhere near better than us the first game. I mean, and they had the lead to win the game with like under a minute. And I just started looking at God and thinking, I started praying like, God, I know you're not about to let this happen right. Like, I know this is not about to happen right now. You know, and we pulled out the win at the end. Marcus went crazy. He refused to let me lose. And we got the win. And then the second game, I really spanked him.
You let him know what it was in the second game?
Yeah, we put it on him that second game for sure.
So this year was the first time y'all ever played each other?
Yeah, yep. This was his first year being a head coach.
Wow, yep. Wow. What did he say after the second game?
What did he say?
Yeah.
He didn't really say much. He didn't really say much after the second game. Shoot, he was trying to coach his butt off. It was sold out, but I mean, he was down 30 so fast. He was he was still trying to, my brother was still trying. He was trying to coach hard and get the guy. I know him. He was thinking like, "What the heck is going on?" Because it was a big one. He thought he was gonna get us at home.
Yeah, man. That's love right there. That's love right there. Man, I love you, brother. Every time I came out there, man, he showed mad love all the time. It was good, man. And like you said, going in, you talked about y'all had Michi, y'all had your son, Sonny Jr. Now y'all got little Marcus coming in, and we're gonna talk about their games for some minutes. Let's first talk about your nephew, man. Michi, man. You know I had to put the spotlight on him. He one of my babies, man.
Yes, sir.
We got.
You've been doing your homework, baby.
And doing my research, I'm like, Let's talk about his high school career. How was it in playing? I know he went through some of the COVID stuff, right?
Yeah, well, he played with me for me as a freshman, had a great year. And then his sophomore year, he played for me. We had a really good year too. But the last game,
that's when he blew his knee out.
Yeah, he messed his knee up. And then he was going to a prep school for a year. Went over there for a minute and then came back because he didn't even play there. I mean, he came right back and was at Garfield, and then decided to graduate early and go to Ohio State.
Now he went to Ohio State, played there, and then he left. What was the home state? You know what I mean? Big Buckeyes. He played there and then he left. What was the reason for the transfer?
I just think different style of play, different. The style of play. Michi's like to use ball screens, get it down the floor, be confident, be a little more aggressive with his shot and things like that. I just thought it was the style of play. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And then you go where you feel you're wanted. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel that. I'm not saying they didn't want him, but you have to feel that as a player. and I don't know if he felt that, you know.
What happened? How did he choose South Carolina?
I had a good connection with that coach. I've been knowing Lamont for so long, for a long time. So, you know, I just, you know, they was looking at certain schools, and I trusted Lamont. Lamont was a great guy. So, you know, I told him, you know, I thought Michi would be pretty good. I thought Lamont would take care of him, which he did.
Let's take a look at some of his work down in South Carolina, man. See when my young boy was getting busy. Yeah, he was getting, and he got busy on the big stage at Rupp. He got busy on the big stage.
Chico Carter, who wears 2, is the best shooter on this team. And just like that, three-pointer is good. Baseline, he went up high. That shot was blocked by Gray. We go the other way. And Collins, a little gimpy coming back. May have hurt that ankle. Hayden's open, and that's a rough start. Benjamin Bozeman's, or Donk, is now working with Shibwe. It's another big body. And Johnson to the rack. Wheeler got
Jump shot. This has set himself up for a hard drop. Second leading scorer on the team at just over 20.
Yeah, he was getting busy out there, man. That boy can score the rock.
You got that real stuff right there.
Good pass. Good 3-ball. Kobe Wright 1 into the game. Wide open Brown 3. Back goes.
Oh, wow.
Eyes on. Because if he doesn't respond well, then is it a trend? With 5 points tonight,
give me one.
He's playing. I think he's learned a lesson.
It's a 4-point game.
The offense just looks different.
Frederick kicking to Brown's hands. 7 on the shot clock.
It's a bad boy.
Johnson straight on 3 over Collins, a backbreaker.
My youngin' right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And then I'm looking at the thing and I'm checking him out. Now he coming back home?
Yes, sir.
Talk about it, man.
I mean, he excited, man. Michi's at home. Michi never wanted to leave. He loved Ohio State. He didn't want to leave Ohio State. Yeah, that's where he wanted to go. That's where his heart is at. He never wanted to leave.
So what you think his pro possibilities, what you think about that?
You know, it all depends on the year he has. You know what I'm saying? He works hard enough. You know, he's dedicated enough. But I think, you know, with God, anything is possible. And he works hard enough. He got a good enough game. He shoot the ball extremely well. So it's all about him. Honestly, a team liking what they see and wanting to use him the way they want to use him, you know, because he's shooter good enough to play for sure.
And his confidence always been through the roof.
Always.
His confidence always been through the roof. That's one thing I can say about him since I knew him as a young boy, man. So next up, we got your son, my boy, Sonny Johnson Jr.
Sonny J.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it. He started out playing with you. Talk about his career at Garfield Heights. You know I got to put my spotlight joint on there, bro. When you can't...
It's so crazy because he started off real hot too, playing very well. Outstanding. Was having an outstanding sophomore year, and then he had an ACL injury as well, and didn't come back to his I think his senior year. He missed his junior. I think came back at the end of his junior year, really, and then was hurt a little bit his senior year. But went to Detroit, and we didn't know. We thought he had a growing problem the whole time. He was always complaining. And then when he went to Detroit, we figured out he had a dysfunctional hip. But the hip was affecting his groin area. So he done had, this will be his 3rd surgery he'll have. So right now he's on the medical red shirt. He's not playing down there right now. But I mean, he's getting a free education. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, man. I'm gonna pray for my little man.
Yeah. He getting a free education. So he done had a hip surgery on his left and right hip, and he got to get one more. Just because you remember what Isaiah Thomas had when he was with the Cavs, that hip problem, that's what he has. So you know, boy, here's a little more severe. But at the end of the day, you know what? He was able to get a full ride. Basketball wise, and because he couldn't play, it turned into a medical full ride. So I mean, we just blessed to have that.
Indeed. And now you got my youngin, Money Marcus Johnson.
Money, you named him that. Money Marcus Johnson.
My young boy came to the camp and was giving jokers buckets.
Yes, sir. Money Marcus Johnson. You named him that too. Dang.
Talk about his game and how it's developed, man, and being ranked number 12 in the country right now and all of that. Like, let's talk about his game and how it's developed first. Then we get to the ranking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, his game is, Marcus is Marcus has a shot to be a pro. When I say that he works out like a pro, his mindset of his approach, he got to mature when things ain't going his way, and just little stuff he has to mature with to be great, which I know he's going to get to. But his game is elite at a whole nother level. His workouts are elite. His drive, nothing distracts him for what he wants to get done and what he needs to get done. He got a shot. He done set up this. He had 3 workouts today. So, you know what I'm saying? He sets his own stuff up. You know what I'm saying? He'll get up and shoot, work out in the morning. Then he'll get up and go to a weight trainer. And then I was wondering where he was at today after weight training. I drive by the gym. He's up there. He got like 600 shots up in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid, you know how a kid just love the game and he wants to be great. You just root for him. As a father, like I'm rooting for him because this is what he wants to do.
In this world of social media and kids garnering a lot of attention, how do y'all keep him grounded, being ranked the number 1 player in Ohio, the 12th best sophomore in the country? Like, how do y'all keep him grounded?
I will say this. God keeps him grounded. If you read his Instagram, he's always pulling out about God, and he knows, like my parents told me, he knows why he's chosen. He knows what his role is as a leader. He knows everything. So, God got his hands on him. So at the end of the day, he got favor with God because he wants to favor with God because of he knows what God is doing in his life.
Once he arrived on your team, did you turn the keys over to him, or he had to wait a year,
No, shoot, I let him go. Listen, you know when you got something different. Hey, listen, listen. I wouldn't hold him back. That boy, different.
Next year, you got my word. I'm gonna fly out there. As long as it's not on the Sabbath, I'm gonna come out there and check him out. Check him out, fly out and check him out, man.
Come on, stay at the house with your boy, man.
Indeed, I'm gonna fly out there.
I probably have to get you a big penthouse house, laid back. I'll get you a hotel.
Nah, I'm modest, bro. I'm modest, brother. I'm modest. Now, early, he went the same route with Meach and committed to Ohio State early. Yeah. How did that come about?
Well, I made it. We want to get it done because now we got the leverage is in our hands. Like these high school kids are not understanding. They're thinking that they're running stuff like they used to back in the days before the transfer portal. No, these college coaches are lying to you. They're telling you they want you. They're telling you they want to build around you. They're telling you they want to do this. But at the end of the day, they're not recruiting like that. They're recruiting 22, 23, 24-year-old men. They're going to take a 22, 23, 24-year-old man before they take a high schooler. So at the end of the day, we made a decision early because right now we get to sit back and watch how you move as a coach. Oh, you think I'm your guy? Oh, you think you're going to build around me? Okay, well, I'm about to see who you bring in my position. I'm about to watch. Now you have to move different because if I see you move in a certain way that don't show the loyalty like you said you had in us, at the end of the day, then we have to evaluate our situation. But we were a great guy, man. This guy, Coach Diebler, was recruiting him as assistant coach harder than anybody. And how can you not, somebody who watched them play multiple times, multiple games, and then not just watch them play and then become the head coach? What else are we looking for? Like, Like you got to go to where somebody. You go where you want it. Some
Indeed.
kids are holding out, waiting for a school that they like. Well, that school ain't coming at you like that. You go with somebody value. You go with somebody who has studied your game. You go with somebody who's been at your games. You go with somebody who you have a relationship with. Then the success comes.
So let's take a look at his commitment, man. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Ohio State men's basketball is getting an early commitment from one of the top guards in the class of 2026. As Cameron Justice tells us, it's a decision that just feels right.
Marcus Johnson is the top-ranked basketball player in the state of Ohio and top 25 in the nation.
All the work is paying off, and it's just the beginning of my journey.
We're trying to prepare now, not just for high school, but for college.
His decision to play basketball was an easy one.
I just love ball. My dad played, my uncles, my cousins, seeing all them play at a young age made me want to play and be great.
The 6'1" Garfield Heights point guard has already made a name for himself. But on Wednesday, Marcus made a much bigger decision.
I would be committed to the Ohio State University.
At the end of his sophomore year, with offers from more than a dozen schools, Marcus had options and time. But with Jake Diebler's recruitment and cousin Michi Johnson's return to the school, committing early to Ohio State felt right.
You get to go. You get to go up and watch Ohio State games. He gets to go up and work out with his cousin, Michi, who's going to be up there in the ropes of what Coach Diebler likes. So I think with all that being said, it gives him a jump on the process of what's ahead.
One of Ohio's best high school hoopers remaining in the state to play for the Buckeyes for his collegiate career when the time comes.
For sure, that's my dream school, so getting an offer for my dream school was a blessing, so I always wanted to go to Ohio State and I always wanted to be a Buckeye.
A dream come true.
Homegrown.
In Garfield Heights, Cameron Justice, News 5.
Gotta love it, man. You gotta love it, man.
Sure.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it, man. Indeed, man. Indeed. How that feel, bro, to have out of y'all stable, y'all 3 Division I players, man? From the household, brother.
No, well, I'm gonna say this to you. We have I play Division I. My brother Michi played Division I. My brother Juby. My brother-in-law, I'm gonna tell you this. And so me, I play Division I. My brother Juby, my brother Michi, then his son Michi, then my son Sonny, then my son Marcus. But my nephew, my sister's son, Mason Broyles, and his father played at James Madison. So he played Division I. My brother-in-law played Division I.
Well, tell me how the cookouts be, bro. Like, this gotta be crazy.
Man, listen, my nephew Mason is up there with Michi working at Ohio State right now. But he in the 6th grade. You ain't seen nothing.
How the cookouts and the gatherings be though? But all y'all basketball players, all that competitiveness under one roof, man.
Nah, hey, listen. Right now, man, we just enjoying the fruits of our labor and watching these young boys become who they want to become. That's our joy right now.
Indeed, man, indeed. I did notice something about Michi and them growing up, and Michi and Sonny. Y'all never really had them on those high-ranked sneaker teams or what's the name sneaker teams. Was what was that about? Yeah, I noticed. What was that about?
Well, at the end of the day, you don't need it right now. I don't feel you need. I mean, you think about this, man. 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you get on a team that's going to help you develop, where you can play a lot, where you can, it's so weird to me to see so many people take their kid and put them with like an all-star team in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, where they can be on the team, where they can be the guy and develop. And then when there's time for them to be in that 9th, 10th grade, 11th grade, then they know how to play, they know how to be a dog and play with other good players. But to just throw them out there, only thing they learn how to do is really play a role. I wanted to put pressure on my son. I wanted him to know every time you step on the court against a Nike team, you have to perform or we have no shot to win. You know what that did for him as a youngster? When we went up against blue chips with Bronny James, and he had no names with him, and they had a team full of all-stars. when we went up against LaMelo's son, Keon Anthony, when we was in Vegas in the 6th grade, when he had 51 points, and Carmelo, we wanted to take a picture with Melo, and Melo was like, wait, hold on, little guy, wait, we'll see later. And after he had 51, Melo was over there like, hey, little bear, hey, come over, like, but I put him in a situation where he had to perform. I didn't put him with no stacked team. You put him with a stacked team, you just playing a role because you beating all the other teams by 30 something points anyway. You beating them.
I figured that's what y'all plan was. I never asked you about it before, but I noticed that y'all played for like a team Hard Work or something like that. What was the team called?
We all of us did it. Michi did it. Sonny did it. Marcus did it. We didn't put them out there like that. Marcus always wanted to travel. And the first time I took him to travel, we won a national championship, I think a 6th grade year.
I remember that.
But I never really, I told him in due time, son, in due time, you're going to get out there. We're going to put you out there. You're going to travel in due time. All that's going to happen in due time. And, it happened when he's on the EYBL circuit and we're traveling, playing all the Peace Jam and all that, which is exciting times, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
But I think growing up, man, you just want to put them. You don't want them with no bums. You want to get a few players with them, but then put pressure on them to perform. Go beat those top teams. Go, and if you can't beat them, at least you have to perform against them. And then it prepares you for high school. It prepares you to be a dog. You know what I'm saying? It prepares you. It's a whole bunch of all-stars, and you supposed to be the guy, and you got to perform, or we don't have a shot. What more pressure do you want on a kid?
That makes it real.
And
I always wanted to know that, man. Thanks for answering that for me. I always wanted to know that, man.
Yeah, because I mean, shoot, we knew that stuff. I mean, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It mattered when you get to high school, but from freaking 2nd grade up into 8th grade, no, you just want them to get reps. You want them to put up with some coaches that's going to let them, because some of these people are putting their kids with bad coaches. That's like when they're taking shots, they're telling them, you missed 2 shots. Don't take that shot. Drive to the hole. Don't say that to my kid. No. My kid is trained. If you miss one, take another one. If you miss that one, take another one. If you miss that one, take another one. If you miss again, get to the free throw line, then come back and take another. We train their mind. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Most of these people don't have a lot of confidence. You got to watch who you put around your kid, because at the end of the day, like my son, like I didn't even go to Indianapolis down there. And Ohio State coaches and all the people said they were so impressed of how he played, because he had a 30-point game, a 25-point game, a 39-point game, and I wasn't even there. So, you just train them to have that killer mentality to produce. And that's what we did.
And that's the thing about it. Like, I noticed that I was the type of person, I sit back and I watch how people move. And I noticed how y'all had them moving like, hey, I watch, bro. I pay attention, bro. And I noticed how y'all had them moving when they wasn't out there on the same plan for those sneaker teams and stuff like that. And I said, I could see them trying to keep that grind and keep them hungry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, just what it was? Keeping them have to produce. Like they had to, at the end, they had to produce against. If they didn't produce, hard work and have a shot of winning. What else would you want? What else do you want at that age? You got kids who's really being destroyed because their parents are trying to follow a wave and put them on a team where, why would I put my son on a team where he's going to get 15 shots a game and have to be counted on to produce, then put him on the team where he's getting 5 in 3rd through 8th grade? Why? Just for wins? No, I want to win every game, but I'm about his development. I'm about his mental.
Facts.
That's why you see a lot of kids that go to these prep schools and they be ranked McDonald's All-Americans and all this stuff. But you know what? When they get to when they get to certain schools, They just be straight role players. Why? Because they never had to have a I have to do it attitude.
Indeed.
They never, the pressure was never really on a lot of these dudes. Why you see so many McDonald's All-Americans that don't pan out? Or go to they can go to no offense to like a Mount Verge where you playing with like 10 dudes that's all Division I. And then when you branch off, except for the top tier dudes, that's an exception. And then you branch off and you're supposed to be one of the top dudes, and you go to a school and you just know how to play a role. Why? Because you was never taught to be that guy. You always taught to fit in with 10 guys. Now, Mount Verge might have a top 3 dudes who you know the straight killers, but then you come in as like the as one of the 10 and you just playing a role. No, you have to. My thing is, man, you have to train the mind. You got to train the mind to be able to go get it done. And
If Kevin Boyle called for Marcus, is definitely no.
I'm gonna say this to you. It all depends on. You just can't send your son. I got to know how see how much mature he gets. If I feel he's mature enough, then I'll entertain some things now. But he has to be mature enough to go, and you got to know your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like Marcus is emotional. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You know, Marcus have a great games. He can kill you. He's one of the best players in the country. But you can't. You know, you miss 5 shots in a row. I don't never want to see your head hang. Like, dang, I don't want to see like, dang, no. Until Marcus, after that 5th shot, head ain't like, dang. And if he missed 10 in a row, he's still like he ain't missed 1. I want that. Then you go where you want to go.
Indeed.
So
and I appreciate the fact that you would even consider it, because most guys that coaches their sons, especially at his own school, will be like, nah, my son ain't never going nowhere. Yeah. But the fact that you said that you'll consider it, that's a sign of maturity.
Yeah. Man, listen. I don't care. I just hope he give me a state championship before he get out. Hey, now if he don't do that, then we gonna have a problem after this year. Now, after this year, he can go everywhere he want. He better give me a ring. I can tell you that now.
All right, next up, you started your venture, man. Neo National Showcase, man, and it took off, man. When did you start it? Why did you start it, and how did you even come up with the concept?
Well, I was going to different events, and I thought it was a lot of not your stuff is first class. Like, that's why I rock with you. You always run a first class. That's why I hate that you stopped doing it, because your camps was always legit. Your camps was always real, and it wasn't really a lot out there like ours. Or like yours at the same point, because mine wasn't going yet. But I was watching people go in the back, do deals that put kids on all-stars, not really evaluate the kids. People that's video guys who make video clips who don't know nothing about basketball, never played basketball, can't shoot a basketball, making money off the kids and can't even play. They can't even, they just, because at the end of the day, our people are naive to the fact that they just want videos. You know what I'm saying? I was never on the videos. I was always on my own development. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with a highlight here and there, because we like that. But I knew the big picture. I like a highlight here and there, but I knew the big picture of like development and competing. You get what I'm saying? And then we was running to scammy camps. You bringing 5 kids. How's he not on here? You got him in the All-Star game. They take across a kid out, put another kid. Like, it was just, so I told my wife, I was like, man, let's build a website. And I want to run my own camp. And it was just for Northeast Ohio, because I just wanted to do it here in Cleveland. So it was so crazy. So I'm like, because I taught one of my mentors who I love to death, Rob Taylor, who's a GOAT in the game, one of the best in the game. I told him, because I was begging him to do one together in Cleveland, but he already had one in Columbus. So I just decided to do my own just for the Cleveland area. And it took off because all the kids I go to school, so everybody wanted to be a part of it. And then what really got it is the name, I was calling it NEO, Northeast Ohio. That was just for Northeast Ohio. But everybody started saying Neo. And I'm like, Neo, what the heck? It's like Neo Youth Elite, Neo. I'm like, okay, Neo. I'm like, bump it, Northeast Ohio. It's supposed to be NEO, Northeast Ohio. I'm like, freaking Neo. All right, we good, Neo. I looked up Neo, and Neo means something new. And I'm like, dang, it's the Neo camp. We good. It's the Neo camp. You know what I'm saying? And then it became a national camp, a national brand, and it's exciting.
What was take me some of the top players that you had out there, brother?
Oh man, we done had Imani Bates, we done had Kyrie Walker, we done had the legend Julian Newman, we done Zion Harmon. Man, we done had some of the best, man. I done had NBA players, man. I didn't even know was at my camp, bro. Like NBA guys and NBA Tyronn Lue and them bringing kids and Dante Jackson. We done had so many. I mean, Monica bringing her son Romeo. You know, we done had so many celebrities and stuff come through and bring kids and stuff. It's just been great.
So let's get into talking about a couple of the players, man. Let's start out with Julian Newman, the viral impact. How did you? This was a good marketing plan that you came up with this thing. How did this whole thing come together?
Man, listen, I just invited him to come. He got family in Cleveland.
Wow.
So that's like a little vacation. They come to Cleveland and they family, they get to visit their family. So, we would get them here. They get to visit their family. And, I didn't know some of the stuff, these matchups and all the stuff would go like this, man. I remember he was going against Jason Bosch, and I'm on the other court giving out trophies, and they're like, oh, ooh, ah. And I run over there, and he competing against him. I'm like, oh, shoot. And then they tried to rush the floor, and my brothers, I ran on the floor trying to holler at people, get off. My brother said, man, you better back up. This is going viral. I said, well, shoot, let them do what they do at the camp. You know what I'm saying? It was just a competition, never seen nothing like it, didn't know it would ever be like this, you know what I'm saying? Only thing I ain't like, he might pop a kid in the head with the ball or something crazy, which, I wasn't a fan of that type of stuff because I want to be about ball. But at the end of the day, he helped a lot of people blow up their camps, man. He's, he had his time.
Let's take a look at one of the joints where he was getting busy at, man. Let's take a look at one of them.
Oh, he can play. Oh, no Kobe roll. Two. No. Big piece. Oh, God. That's basketball. Oh, they're ready to go. Try to play passes. Right shot and shoot him up. Oh, my God. This boy putting on. Oh, my God. That's a 12. Good team. Newman. Oh, the boy is playing.
Yeah, so what did you think when you was watching him play and in terms of the his ability? How far did you think he was going to be able to go in basketball?
Julian? How far I thought Julian would go? I really ain't know. All that stuff, it's all about your height. You know what I'm saying? It's about your height. It's about your game and things like that. But I knew he was, one thing I did know was he was exciting for high school basketball. Never knew how far.
Indeed. Huh? His family did a good job with the marketing.
Unbelievable job marketing.
They took advantage of the situation when they had it. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I think they took, man. A lot of people made a lot of money off of Julian with YouTube stuff. I'm mad. I didn't know how to run YouTube and do all that type of stuff. They made their family. His father did a great job marketing for sure.
And I saw they had like a show. and all that
Yeah.
stuff on there, like a show when they followed them for like a couple years and stuff. His dad was coaching like the teams down there. It was a whole big thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next up, Zion the Lion Harmon.
Whew.
Yeah, he was an animal out there, man. And I put him on here because I want you to talk about what he did there, and then I want you to talk about the adversity he went through now in college. Because now, matter of fact, he was at Western Kentucky, went through that situation. Then he went to Bethune-Cookman. Now he at Seton Hall, man. So give me a take on Zion Harmon, man.
Zion Harmon is one of the greatest I've seen. That boy was killing since the second, third grade and wasn't.
I know.
I mean, everybody ranked him number one. Everybody couldn't wait to see him play, and he was as good as advertised. He just had it, and I'm happy to see him back on his feet. I'm a fan of Zion Harmon. I'm rooting for the kid, and I'm just happy to see him. I mean, get to the highest level where, we all knew where he should play at and where he should be.
I remember I called you when I first got the news and we prayed. You remember that? When I called you and told you what was going on with Zion and stuff, man. And we prayed because his birthday the same day as mine, of course, different years, but his birthday is March 12th, the same as mine. So we always had like a closeness and stuff. And he was one of the only kids in my tournament that, bro, he played for 3 different age levels and just would never get tired. And he just used to be killing the same way on all different age levels.
Hey, that boy. Hey, listen. That boy was special.
And
just
I remember when Newman tried to lock up with him, and he let him know like it's total levels to this at your joint.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, man. That boy Zion, man, was just different. He was different, and man, I'm just excited to see him be where he's supposed to be at, and get what he's going to get and what he deserves.
Indeed. All right, as we move on, we got these 2 guys. Now, I put these 2 guys up because both of them came with a lot of expectations and lofty expectations for their careers, and neither got where everybody thought that they would get at.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think was the cause of them not reaching where everybody thought?
You got to stay focused, man. You got to manage the situation right. You can't walk around. Me and my son's never gonna. Not saying they did it, but just being humble in a situation like we ain't made it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like even the little money we might get here and there, it ain't. This is not the biggest goal. Biggest goal is getting to the lead and staying humble and doing things the right way to reach and to get everything you're supposed to get to. And I don't know why things went the way they went with either one of them, because to me, I thought they were both pros. I thought, shoot, I love Kyrie, but you got to go to the right school. You got to be marketed the right way. All that stuff counts, man. All that stuff counts.
I think in my opinion, some of it was too much too soon. I know I played a part in it. I know one of the things that I had to repent for that I felt bad about was when I flew Amani and his dad and them to my camp. Like when my partners came to me with the idea, I had never did that before, and I said I would never do that because I didn't want that to go to people's heads at a young age, and I didn't want to influence people to start thinking what you just talked about, like I'm that guy or this or that. And I went against my judgment early, and I did that. And I always told myself, like, yo, like you shouldn't have did that because you don't know what kind of thoughts that and what kind of how that changes somebody's behavior later on. So then when I saw things happening, I started to feel bad. Like, what part did you play in that in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? And I since repented for it for doing that because I felt like I went against. I just thought it was too much too soon for somebody that young in 7th grade and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's the only time I ever did that. But
Yeah,
I
well,
did feel
I don't think so though. I think
okay.
what you did was help your camp because that kid don't know everything you did. He don't, that's his parents' job to keep us as good parents have to control these kids. And like I'm
Okay.
steadily reading the Bible with my son. I'm steadily giving him
Mm,
Instagram quotes to keep him humble, to realize
mm,
it can be taken from you. I'm going to show him these two pictures that you putting up today. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture of two guys that we felt were pros.
mhm.
I'm sorry to take this picture right now.
I just
But
sent it to you. Yeah, it's
yeah,
cool.
okay, yeah. But that didn't get there because at the end of the day, it's about staying hungry. It's about me being a good father. Not saying their fathers wasn't good because I thought they had great fathers, but also just managing a situation better and putting them in a situation because at the end of the day, like sending him Imani early to Memphis. If Imani would have never went to Memphis and he would have just went overseas, Imani would have been a top 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah, I feel the same
So,
way.
yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like I feel like um I feel like that was I wouldn't have made that move. And
no,
especially going early, because now they got 2 years to be able to evaluate your game.
yeah,
If I'm already projected top 5, they not seeing me play until I get to that league. Like I ain't even doing we ain't even doing all that. Like
no.
nah, we not
And then
doing
you
all
went to play for Penny, and things ain't going right, so he might be bashing you. And then you got Larry Brown on the bench
that. Yeah.
last year. So I mean, you
Yeah.
got two dudes that ain't feeling you, and that wasn't a good look because those are NBA guys. So
Yeah.
just to mismanagement of some things that but you know what, he's in the lead, and I think he can still make it. He got a good father. His father been holding him down for a minute, but sometimes the decisions we make can cost your kid. That's why I say about my son, making sure he's not going too early. Like when my son want to go to prep school, I don't know if it's right for him to go. He might go out there and it's not really good for him. So I don't know if that's right to get there, or is it good for him to stay here and put the team on his back and have to perform and get face guarded and do all I don't know. That might be the I don't know what the move is, but the move I'm gonna make is gonna be led by God.
I respect your honesty, brother.
Yeah, and
I pray that both of these brothers achieve their goals, but the most thing I pray about is that they turn their life over and to God and understand that Christ is their savior. That's the main thing that I hope they get out of this whole situation, man. You know what I mean? Indeed. All right, next up. The transfer portal. You being a high school coach, you having sons that's going through this. What's your thoughts on this, man? What's your pros and cons? Are you all pro? Are you all con? What's your thoughts on the transfer portal?
I'm happy kids get to go where they want to go, but I think one transfer is enough, to be honest with you. I mean, because you're not teaching them kids you're not teaching them to fight through anything. If you don't like what the coach say, if you're not in the rotation, they're not even fighting. Like, you can go to school. If it don't work out at that one school, let them go transfer right away and play. That's fine. But to continue to do that anytime you want every year, that's tough. That's tough. After you get your one transfer, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to go through something. You got to grow. You got to grow because the stuff you go through is what make you stronger. And
Indeed.
We're developing a weak generation when it comes down to basketball because you have no adversity.
I think the adversity starting from young with the schools they're going to and the AAU teams. Like nobody want their kids to go through anything. So as soon as there is some sign of adversity, I'm gonna either start my own team or I'm transferring them out.
Yeah.
Indeed. Next up, we almost done, brother. NIL. And now college is paying players. Give me your thoughts. I know you love this.
I'm happy. Love Jesus.
Wow.
You know what though? They deserve it. I'm not gonna say they deserve it. It's about time that you can capitalize on let's be real. You're changing kids' lives, man. You're changing families' lives in college. I mean, I saw the dude from Colorado buy his mama a house. This dude he can still stay in school and get his degree and don't even have to come out. I'm looking at Caleb Love. Instead of going to the league where he's going to play in a G League and make $50,000, they're giving that dude probably $500 to $1 million to go back to Arizona. You know when he's going to walk away as a young black man with money in his pockets and feel like he's not a failure just because he didn't go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
You know, you're still able to provide for your parents. I know kids right now that's getting NILs that got both of their parents, sending their parents $2,000 piece a month off of the NIL money. And they can do what they want to do with it. So at the end of the day, it's changing kids' lives. It's changing families' lives. And, you don't have to go to the NBA to be a success story. You know, that's just icing on the cake right now, baby. That's just icing on the cake.
What do you say about the coaches that feel like the kids are coming in not motivated to work now because of the money they have?
Well, that's why you're getting paid $500,000 to $2 to $3 million. I mean, to try to motivate them to play. And I put it like this, and if they're not motivated to play, then because of the transfer portal, they don't have to be with you after a year. So it's your job to get in the portal and find your guy.
Okay. Next up, we got, give me your Garfield Heights all-time starting five.
Oh man, you ain't about to get me in trouble. You ain't about to do that to me.
Give me your all-time starting. Come on, coach. You've been there almost a dub. You gotta have an all-time starting five.
No, I really don't. I got three guys. I got Marion Jackson, Trey Lewis, Carl Jones.
Two more, bro.
Tony Farmer. I know he got in some trouble. That was my kid too.
One more.
You could throw my nephew Michi in there.
Okay.
We got, man, listen, I got Willie Jackson. Frankie Hughes. Rob Wilson was at Wisconsin. Listen, shoot.
All right. Next up.
Yeah.
Ohio Mount Rushmore of high school basketball. You only get 4 slots. All Ohio, though. You got the whole Ohio.
Clark Kellogg. LeBron James. Jimmy Jackson.
Jimmy Jackson was nasty. Jimmy Jackson was nasty.
Wow.
One more.
Go with Jared Sullinger.
Ooh, Jared Sullinger. Ooh,
it's a big one.
Okay. Hey, it's your Mount Rushmore. I can't argue with that. Next up, the best player you ever coached.
I can't do that.
You know who the best player you ever coached, bro? Come on.
It's between I got 3: Trey Lewis, Carl Jones, and Marion Jackson.
You know who the best one, though.
They all was different. Tay was probably the most gifted, just had some junk to him. Trey Lewis was the ultimate winner. But Marion Jackson could probably be my number 1 kid. And he didn't really blow up to his senior year because he was strictly a point guard his first 2 years because he had 4 Division I guys with him.
Okay. We down to the final 2 joints, man. How do you want William Sonny Johnson, to be remembered?
As a person who loved God, who loved his family, and did what he could to help kids. That's really it.
Final question, man. I always ask my guests this. Give me a situation that you feel God allowed you to get through to be an inspiration for other people?
It's many situations God put you through to, God take you through so many things so you can learn certain things so you can help others.
Mhm.
So, I've been through a lot of stuff. Had a lot of failures and stuff like that. I couldn't just tell you one. I've been through many things that, but God always comes through. So I just couldn't say one thing.
Okay. All right, brother. Thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, God.
When it's over, I'm gonna send you the full interview. Then I'm gonna have the clips. I'm gonna have the clips in about 45 minutes, and then I gotta edit them tomorrow morning. Then I'll start sending you the clips. You're probably gonna get tired of me sending you clips, but that's how I do. I'm gonna have a whole lot of them, and then I'm gonna send them to you, and then you post them, man, and go for there. Thank you, man. Get a family my love, man, and tell your son I'm definitely gonna come out there and check out one of his games, man.
My God, I appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Anytime.
All right. That was my guy, Sonny Johnson, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, man. Stopped through to say what's up, man. And we went through his story, and I look forward to next week. Next week, I got a couple of real good guests coming on, 2 legends in New Jersey. I'll let you guys know coming this weekend, but I got 2 legends coming on next week on In the Spotlight podcast. This is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.